Hi, my name is Rachel, and this is my presentation one for Music 100. Today I'll be explaining several musical terms from our vocabulary list from modules 1 to 9 and showing how they appear in real listening examples. Using actual music helps to connect the terms to what we hear by making them easier to understand and remember. Why musical terms matter. So, musical terms give us a way to describe music more clearly. Instead of just saying a piece sounds calm or dramatic or fast, the vocabulary allows us to explain why it sounds this way. So, these terms can apply to many different styles of music, from religious songs to drum music to classical compositions. So, my first example is a hymn. A hymn is a religious song that's meant to be sung by a group or an individual person. Amazing Grace is one of the most well-known hymns because it has religious lyrics and a very simple melody. The melody stays in a comfortable range, which allows many people to sing it together even without musical training. So in this example, I have one singer singing the song. So I'm from a Catholic church, so we only really have one person singing our hymns. So that's why I chose an example with one person, but hymns can also be sung by multiple people together. Oh, I see. So my next example is a cappella. A cappella music is performed using only voices without instruments. So when, excuse me if I don't say this right, Cruz Fidelis is sung a cappella. The focus is entirely on the voices and the harmonies. This is another kind of religious song, I think. So it's kind of more emphasizing on the lyrics and the message in this song. Um, my next term is strophic form. So strophic form means the same music repeats for each verse, even though the lyrics change. So on the left, I have my example is a like more pop like so more recent song that wasn't from the modules, but it's by Lucas Graham. So it kind of has, if anyone would know the song, it's the same beat, but the lyrics change. So Amazing Grace is one of the better examples. So I used this twice, but it's also from the modules. It was like one of the ones that I've also like had more focus on being a strophic form example. So the repetition in the song makes it easy to learn and remember, like I said before. So I'm playing a different part of the song that kind of emphasizes more strophic form than just a hymn, like I said before. Oh, sweet, oh, soul, that's sweet, oh, rich, oh, rich like me. So that just kind of showed like the melody in the background stayed the same, but the lyrics she was singing changed. So my next term is rhythm. Rhythm is the pattern of beats in music. So in dun dun drum music, rhythm is the most important element. There isn't really a melody like in a hymn. Instead, the drums create like a repeating beat patterns that make drive the music forward. Rhythm often plays a central role in African percussion traditions. So on the left, I have a picture of African drummers, and then I'm going to play an example of drum music. So that was just an example of a different pattern of beats in dun dun drum music. My next example is binary form. Binary form is a musical structure with two contrasting sections. They're normally labeled A and B, but obviously in my example, it's not labeled. So I'm just gonna like show you the two different sections. So this is the same song. This is from Musets. So I have what would be section A, which was the more of the beginning, and then section B is towards the end. So this is A. And this is B. So that contrast shows the binary form because it shows the beginning is more kind of quiet and slow, and then the ending is more like obviously louder and like faster kind of. So next I have dynamics. Dynamics refer to the volume level of a music ranging from soft to loud, so it can be either soft or loud. La Nana, the dynamics are very soft and gentle, and this helps create like a calm and soothing mood, which fits the lullaby style of the piece. This is the example. So in that piece, you can really hear how quiet and gentle it sounds. So that obviously creates like a more like quiet and gentle mood. My last example is program music. Program music is instrumental music that tells a story or describes a scene. March to the Scaffold is an example of program music because it represents a march toward an execution. The strong rhythm sounds like marching, and the dramatic dynamics create like tension and urgency. And like this isn't in this example, but like in certain movies, there's certain songs that like they play in the background of like a scene where they're supposed to be like it's really dramatic and like you're waiting for something to happen. So that's kind of another like real life example of where you would hear something like this. So here's the example. So that obviously just feels kind of dramatic. So that's pretty self-explanatory. So these listening examples all pretty much show how different musical styles, different emphasize different elements. So like each term obviously emphasizes something different. So understanding these musical terms helps us listen more carefully and appreciate music from different cultures and different time periods. Connecting the vocabulary to listening examples can make the concepts easier to recognize and apply. And I know for me, I've never been really good with like musical definitions. I've grown up playing the piano, but like kind of just playing the piano. So I think like learning these terms like really helps make the concepts easier to recognize and apply. So thank you. That's my final presentation for the first 1 to 9 modules for presentation.